How's everyone doing out there? Welcome back to the channel. This is Zip. Gonna be an exciting week in this crypto environment. Lots of stuff going on. Before we dive into some of what is happening this week and just some price evaluations from some analysts out there on XRP that I believe are gonna blow your mind. They blow my mind, I know that. Just remember, please be safe out there. A lot of scams, a lot of scammers going on. Do not respond. Do not click anything in any link. Make sure you understand who you are communicating with. And biggest thing is don't move your assets around unless you're moving them to your own cold storage environment. All right, these guys are getting very, very slick. Again, I am not proactively reaching out to you. No one is. There is not a content creator that is proactively reaching out to you. No one is here to give you anything for free. All right, we're here to provide education and just assist during this journey in this fun environment. But with that, please remember also hit those likes. Give me some comments out there. If you're doing fantastic and you're ready to rock and roll in this environment, let me know in the comment section. Helps the algorithm, helps grow the channel. It helps get the word out more and more because we are still nascent in this environment. So stuff going on this week. So it's coming out July 30th. It is expected that the release for the national report on the crypto stockpile conversation will be delivered from the White House. Now, we've been waiting for this. We talked about this. This was an EO that is back from the January, February timeframe. It had 180 days for the Federal Reserve, the CFTC, the SEC, all of the big players to develop a report and strategize as to how having a digital stockpile, and remember, in that stockpile, XRP, ADA, Solana were some of the few that were mentioned beyond the Bitcoin treasury that we have. So looking forward to this report. Hopefully that date holds true and we get some information out there and excitement really to help us strategize and understand how the biggest government in the world is going to use the assets that you and I own. We've been following this very, very closely. We're seeing that, the changing of the environment and what's going on. And this is part of that change. Speaking of change, I was out there reading and I saw an article. And again, these are just check boxes of things that are fundamentally changing within our system, the financial system that we keep talking about, that is being updated, modernized with the digital technologies, the technical stack, the software that you own. If you are brand new, welcome first to the channel, welcome to the crypto environment, and you're trying to figure these things out and what is going on, get out there and study is the best thing I can recommend. We'll give you as much information as possible, but I can't cram everything that I have in my head over the course of the last 6 to 7 years that I've learned. You've got to get out there and do your research. But for me, I look for real world utility. Again, what do we mean by that? It means that it is synergized and being used in the system. It actually has an action. There's some product that it is useful for. In the instances of the digital assets we talk about, like XRP, XLM, HBAR, SHX, these products are being used to modify the financial system, to update it, to give us the capability to move money 24/7 in an instant. And all of that's changing. That's why the laws were so important. That's why part of the laws in the Genius Act were important. So that's just a framework, give you a framework and mindset around what is going on. But what I'd seen out there was the federal government is moving away from paper checks, for all payments, for Social Security, for Treasury, including tax refunds, which honestly, I thought we had already, I haven't used checks in quite a while, so I didn't even realize a lot of the older part of the system, there's still paper check processing, I guess, but come September 30th of this year, 2025, that is going away. Reading that article, and again, I only mention this because it's part of that checkbox. We want to see this evolution, the flywheel effect, the snowball of what is happening in the environment. And they're going to start to use these DLT technologies, digital assets, crypto, to do this processing, and eventually stable coins. You'll be able to probably check a box. How do you want your payment? Do you want it in a digital stable coin, or do you want it in fiat? Eventually, that fiat will probably also transition away, and we won't have paper money. But that's years and years in the future, I would imagine, but it's moving fast, and we have to be aware. And the exciting part is we own those assets. Other stuff going on. Now let's talk about some analysts out there and price expectations of XRP specifically and what is going on. So reading another article, analysts out there again, I have personally been shooting for Q4 of this year to absolutely have a blow off top with everything that's going on, and the altcoin market to drastically start to shoot up. We've been seeing good little jumps here and there with XRP and many of the other assets, but this analyst says there's going to be a surge he expects in the market coming into August and September, and he's calling for a $12 XRP. Again, we have seen everywhere from 12, 15, and what we're getting ready to talk about, higher price evaluations coming into Q4 of this year because of all the things that you are knowledgeable about and that I talk and bring to you. Dark Defender has changed his price expectation with regards to XRP. So he was shooting for a $27 XRP this year, and he slightly adjusted that. He has said now XRP is looking like in wave 3 target, and again, I'm not an analyst, I just read this stuff and I find it fascinating, but wave 3 target of $36, moving upwards to a trend of $117. Now, do we make those marks? I don't know. That's why I don't focus on price. The only thing I focus on is I know where the markets are going. And that's why your mindset, you have to be prepared. Because when you start seeing these numbers and you're watching your portfolio absolutely scream up thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars possibly, it is an emotional event. But all of these analysts are pointing towards higher highs with everything that is going on. We know we're following Ethereum. If it hits that $4,000 all-time high mark, that is good news, whether you own Ethereum or you don't, because everything's going to flood in to these altcoins. Bitcoin is still holding at around 119, 120. We talked about the Bitcoin dominance and what may happen with that. As it starts to downtrend, all that money flows into the altcoins. So very, very exciting times. Stay locked in. Part of the momentum that we're seeing, and the reason for this really, whether you like them or not, Trump and all these tariff deals that he is making. We just saw this weekend another huge tariff deal with the European Union. Okay? That's unlocking a $20 trillion market. They agreed to purchase $750 billion worth of energy and invest $600 billion in America, plus some other things that are in there. But what does that mean? It means all of this money is flowing, which means interest rates are going to have to drop. They're going to drop. Okay, the Fed is going to drop the interest rates. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. And when that happens, It's another accelerant and lights a fuse within these markets. And all that money, tax savings, everything that's been going on, people are going to start to pour in, especially as we're getting information out in the crypto asset space. Crypto is a mainstream topic now. They talk about it on the news all the time. Now, much of the time it's about Bitcoin. But the point is they're changing the psychology of the investor out there. And investors, financial advisors are now moving because the large institutions are coming in and they're going to be talking to their clients about investing 5, 10, 15% of their portfolios in these markets. And if the clients are smart, that's what they'll do. It's a risk-on asset, absolutely. But all of these markets are risk, and they're going to be going up. So I'm excited. It's going to be a fun week. Energized. Keep your mindset straight. Again, be careful. Stay away from the damn scammers. I hate to even say it. Protect your assets. Don't chase yield. Put that information out there on some of the XRP yield capabilities that are being promoted of 20%, 10%, but it's non-custodial. You have to put your money in someone else's wallet. All right, there's other things coming on with Flare, which I'm still waiting on some information there, but just be careful is the bottom line. We are so close. Again, the door is opening. Don't make any moves that you're not aware and very, very diligent of. Protect your assets. And with that, until next time, Zip is out.